Hello, I'm Carol Valentine and I do a lot of wrestling related videos and I sometimes review the shows and talk about the career trajectory of certain wrestlers, and one of those wrestlers happened to be Jey freaking Uso. Now, honestly, I really didn't like Jey Uso because he was being pushed down our throats, pause, just like Roman Reigns was back in 2015 and before that. And after that for a little while until he became the tribal chief. That's why I didn't like Jey Uso. But I'm making this video to say, without a shadow of a doubt, I was wrong about Jey Uso. But it didn't just take him winning the Intercontinental Championship for me to realize that I was absolutely wrong about him. I realized this maybe all the way back in Money in the Bank. What happened tonight with him winning the championship kind of just put the final nail in the coffin, made it 100% certainty that I was wrong about Jey Uso. So that's why I'm making this video right now. Here's the thing. I hated the fact that he was in every poster. He was always getting a World Heavyweight Championship shot or going into a feud with this person, that person. He had 20 million merchandise like the glasses, again, 50 million different type of shirts. And when I was going to Money in the Bank, actually, in Toronto, in the Scotiabank Arena, around the city, the entire city of Toronto, everywhere I looked, I was seeing somebody with a Jey Uso t-shirt. Sometimes I would see like a whole family with a Jey Uso t-shirt. The kids would have the glasses as well alongside the t-shirts. And then maybe I would see one Cody Rhodes t-shirt. Was there anybody else? LA Knight, surprisingly enough, I was wearing LA Knight's shirt and a couple of other people, but Jey Uso was like 95%, 99% even. So the guy was freaking over. I mean, we knew that, especially in France with Backlash, with the reaction that guy got. In every single show almost, whenever he comes out, people going crazy. You got this new presentation. You're calling him main event Jey Uso, which you've been doing for a while, honestly. It's been a while, sure. But you're finally kind of positioning him as a main eventer, or at least a person, a guy, a wrestler with the potential to become a main eventer. But then they would never pull the trigger. If you look at my channel, go back a couple of videos, I said that Jey Uso has almost become the new Dolph Ziggler. If it continues like this, if he loses to Braun Breaker, he's going to become the new Dolph Ziggler. That's what I was saying. I'll get to the reason why. I just want to go ahead and talk about Braun Breaker really quick. The fact that he lost, it's a big thing. I think it's a bad thing. If he didn't lose, I would book him kind of like Goldberg, to be honest with you, at least in the beginning of his career. I would make him look really, really strong. But the thing is, he came in there and lost to Sami Zayn, the Superman, but somehow also the underdog, which doesn't work at all. But again, that's another thing. So Braun Breaker already lost. So him losing to Jey Uso here, I didn't see it as a big problem. And I wanted Jey Uso to win here. From not liking him at all, I wanted him to win. And that's the main point of my video. I want to tell you why. As I said, they put this guy everywhere. Everywhere. He felt like Cody Rhodes without the championship. You know, back in the day, last year, Cody Rhodes would feud with Brock Lesnar. Then other than that, he did absolutely nothing besides coming out every single week, saying absolutely nothing, going backstage and repeating the exact same promo the next week and the week after that for months and months and months until WrestleMania season came around and Rock, showed us how to be entertaining. He even made Cody entertaining. And in a perfect world, if they gave Cody a bit more of creative control, not infinite, because we saw what happened with that in AEW, but a bit more lenience on the microphone and stuff like that, I think we would get a better Cody Rhodes, but that's neither here or there. Yeah, Jey Uso was the same. He would come out, he would say, he would say, how you doing? I'm so happy. All right, I'll see you next week. He would literally cut these unnecessary, meaningless promos just so he can go on TV and tell us that he's still living, right? He's still drawing breath, unlike what Rikishi is saying for his sons. I think he never said or insinuated that Jey Uso was dead, and he's only talking about Jimmy, which oh my God, there's so many weird stuff happening in wrestling. But that was the thing, man. Like, you're booking this guy as if he's supposed to be a champion. You're calling him main event. You have given him merch. He's actually over with the people. So what were you waiting for? Are you going to turn this guy into the next Dolph Ziggler? And no, they didn't do that. And yeah, that's why I was like, from hating this guy, like I was saying, all right, like I don't like this guy. I sometimes, and most of the time, as a matter of fact, find all the Yeet stuff, because he does it so much, a bit obnoxious. I think he's not as serious as he's supposed to be in the ring. And yeah, he's too much of a comedy character and smiling too much, which is fine. There's a place for that in wrestling, but take after Roman Reigns a little bit. Take yourself seriously. Get to a certain position, right? Get to that main event spot, and then you can think about having even more fun. Still have fun, but don't overdo it, because then you're not going to be able to be taken seriously, right? As a main event. And surprisingly enough, this match, not only did he win this match, but he was actually emotional. He was actually going crazy, spearing Braun Breaker all over the place. Like when he threw that barricade spear at Braun, I was impressed, because he went in there full speed and like, he was like, I'm either going to win this championship, my first ever singles championship in the WWE, or I'm about to die. And I loved it. I absolutely loved how much energy, passion, and just emotion he had. He knew that this was a big night for him, and it just came across because it was super genuine. And this is the Jey Uso I want to see. Am I still a fan or not a fan of him? To be honest, yeah. I still don't like him that much. But man, if he's going to bring it like this all the time, I got no problem. And regardless of, if he brought it tonight or not, again, I was going crazy. Like, you're doing everything to this guy besides giving him the title. I don't like him, but man, I feel bad for him, man. Just give him the title. That's how I started feeling towards the end of this whole Jey Uso craze. But again, it was just perfect. This is the way you do it. Braun Breaker losing, no problem. Jey Uso, I don't know what he's going to do from here, but he certainly needed this. He might lose the title really quickly. I mean, you look at what happened with Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker lost in a baffling fashion. This was way better, by the way, the Jey Uso and Braun Breaker match, way better than the Sami Zayn one. But then he came back the next match and cooked Sami Zayn. And same thing might happen to Jey Uso because of the Judgment Day. Suddenly, I might have missed something, okay? Because, yeah, I sometimes skip when I get bored and watch the shows in 2x because Raw is 3 hours. For the last time, actually, next time it's going to be 2 hours, which is nice, but then we get SmackDown, which makes me want to cry. Doesn't matter. The fact is, where's Judgment Day? You know what I mean? They're conveniently not involved in any of Jey Uso's business, even though just last week, if I remember correctly, Jey Uso was cooking the Judgment Day, being a thorn in their side. So, when you try to dig for logical fallacies, I think you find a lot still do. Even though Vince McMahon is not here and Triple H is doing the booking, you still find a lot of inconsistencies, which is not cool. But the booking of Triple H gives us some cool moments like this. The presentation of SmackDown, I think, is really good. The fact that Hell in a Cell is not a pay-per-view name anymore and it's actually a big match again is really good. But then, when you look at the overall booking, there's a lot of problems. But what they did with Jey Uso, giving him the title, even if he's going to lose it pretty quickly, or regardless of what happens, hopefully we don't get a Cody Rhodes syndrome where he's too much of a baby face and he does nothing substantial. This is the mid-card title. You can take way more risks with this. I'm really happy that Braun actually kind of, now that I think about it, lost his title quickly. Because you look at every other championship right now in the WWE, and when somebody wins it, they hold it for so freaking long. And I don't think it's necessary with all the titles. It does make it more prestigious, but you got to switch it up every now and then. And so this was one of the most positive things that the WWE has done in a while. Kudos. And you know what? Like I said, if Jey Uso brings it like this every single week, gives us something interesting to watch, which I doubt will happen, well, I'll eat my words. I don't know if I'll ever like him, but hey, I might at least, be a little bit of a fan at the end of the day. We'll see. Because he's lucky in the sense that he can hold this thing for a couple of months, do some interesting stuff. And I don't know if he'll drop it, but whenever he does drop it, he can go straight into the Bloodline storyline. But imagine he goes in there with the Intercontinental Championship, and then Roman Reigns somehow wins the WWE Championship, and then Jimmy and maybe Solo switches sides, and they win the Tag Team Championships, and Roman wins the WWE. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But imagine the visual. The Bloodline, the original Bloodline is back, and they have all the titles. That'd be kind of crazy. But anyhow, yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Jey Uso, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm glad you won the Intercontinental Championship.